We run, we win. Hello guys, I'm James. False foundations of love. Humans are spiritual, mental, and physical beings. And if you base a relationship decision just off the natural physical feelings, you'll miss it 99% of the time. Because money, the #1 cause of divorce in the United States in the 90s, is not a feeling. Religious differences are not feelings. Political worldviews are not feelings. Career motives are not feelings. Family interactions are not feelings. Pride, arrogance, and abuse are not feelings. Therefore, feelings alone cannot create nor sustain a real God-blessed physical, mental, and spiritual relationship. So let's talk about 3 feelings that have already caused enough problems for humanity. Attraction is not love. Attraction is one of these feelings where you just see someone, you're attracted to the person. Example in my life, there's this beautiful actress, and every time I see her on a movie, on television, whatever, I think to myself, she is beautiful. But hey, I'm not in love with her because I think she's beautiful every time I see her on the screen. She's probably married, probably got kids, Lord bless her and send her a wonderful husband. But she's not the one for me. And just being attracted to her is not a signification that I am in love with her. Just because you are attracted to someone does not mean you are in love with them. Infatuation is not love. Hey, let me see. Real life example. Yes, in the 6th grade, I was infatuated. Crush, I believe was the correct terminology back then and now. I was infatuated with a teacher. Yes, it was a teacher. I was in the 6th grade. She was like 30 years old, but hey, I was like infatuated with this lady. She had beautiful long red hair, and oh wow, I wasn't in her class, thank God. I probably wouldn't have passed. Well, I probably would have because I've been paying attention 24/7 to her. But anyways, just because I was infatuated with the teacher does not mean I was in love with this teacher. Just because I thought she was really, really pretty and I was looking out for her whenever she was taking her class to lunch does not mean I was infatuated with her. Does not mean I was in love with her. So just because you are infatuated with someone does not mean you're in love with them. The desire to have sex with someone is not love. I'll use a safe example. Hey, someone going to a prostitute, obviously, having sex with someone doesn't mean, just wanting to have sex with them does not mean they're in love with the person. Because if that were true, then prostitution would be a signification of love, which means that every person who goes to a prostitute is actually in love with the person. So obviously we know that's not true. So having a desire to have sex with someone does not mean you're in love with the person. We've seen enough motion pictures, and even there's a story in the Bible where one of King David's sons wanted to, well, I'll go ahead and finish it, fell in love with, wanted to have sex with his sister from another mom. And so, back then we don't, let's just not get into it. But anyways, what happened was that after he forced her, after he raped her, he didn't love her anymore. So obviously the desire to have sex with a person wasn't love, because when he was done, he was done. Just like people who go to the bars, get drunk, and see someone they like. I need to quit this. I need to move on. And then they have sex with a person. Is that love? No, it's not love. So just because someone has a desire to have sex with someone does not mean they are in love with that person. So, if you build a relationship on any of these 3 things or use them as a foundation for love, you'll miss it every single time. If these 3 things, infatuation, attraction, and sex, if you use these solely, individually, as a signification, as a foundation for a relationship, it won't work. 1, attraction. What if you've been married for 5 years and you get a new limo driver and she's smoking hot? How do you think adultery and affairs begin? Because someone's just, oh, wow, that person's pretty. Wow, oh, wow, she's pretty. Well, you're supposed to cut that off real quick. You're married. But what I mean is that just because they're attracted doesn't mean, oh, maybe there's something in me that maybe I'm really in love with this person and I haven't talked to this person. I've been with this person for 5 years and now, hey, see, You start wondering and start thinking. So you don't want to do that. So that just being attracted does not mean, oh, maybe I'm in love. Do not use maybe because I'm attracted, we're in love. No, I've been attracted to a lot of pretty people, and especially piano players. Girls who can play piano, I'm sorry. I just think that's awesome. But anyways, no, I'm not talking about teachers who can play piano, not people who are older, but let me stop. Let me stop before I get in trouble. 2, infatuation. What if your best friend comes back from Russia with a new bride and you keep seeing pictures of her on Facebook with him? Because I'm posting this video on Facebook. Let's say you keep seeing pictures of him and her, and you're like, oh, she's pretty, but they live with each other, you live near them, they obviously live with each other because they're married, and it's like, you're like, oh, I keep seeing pictures of her, so you see this beautiful picture, she's pretty, you don't mentally cut that off and say, wait a second, she's another person's wife. That's why you cut it off with the word of God and prayer and the Spirit. You resist those imaginations, but she's pretty, it's like for 3 years, you're seeing pictures of them constantly, she's pretty, the devil's whispering, she's pretty. Strike while the iron is hot. Come on, because he goes on a trip. So, but does that mean you're in love with her? No, it doesn't. Because infatuation, constantly seeing pictures, which is why it's bad for you to have trash on your walls, guy. Don't put trash on your walls. Hey, listen, just because I love that beautiful, just because I like that beautiful actress does not mean I need to put pictures of her on my wall because I'll get infatuated with her. And she's not my favorite actress, and I know my favorite actress is married, but so I'm not going to put my favorite actress on my wall because of that. 3, sex. What if you watch a trashy movie and the people, and the girl, the people and the girl in there, she exposes herself. I'm a dude, so girls, but let's say you're watching a movie and the boy exposes himself, or you're a girl, and you're thinking, what if? Well, when that what if comes, you need to go ahead and cross that out. You shouldn't be watching trashy movies anyway. Love movies, lust movies, characterizes love. That's not, so you don't want to do that because you start thinking that just because, oh, well, maybe I want to, because you start thinking, well, maybe if I'm thinking about having sex with her, and that means maybe I love her. Well, maybe no, she's not your wife. But you see the movie and it's like, oh, well, maybe it's not that bad. So maybe it is that bad. And so, but you can't base the desire to have sex with somebody that you love them. So attraction is not a base, being attracted to somebody does not mean you love them. 2, infatuation. Hey, having a crush on someone doesn't mean you love them. 3, having sex with someone, wanting to have sex with someone does not mean you love them, or having sex with someone does not mean you love them. How can we go? I'm not even going to go in there, but think about all that pornography would be complete love, literature, and media if that were the case. As far if sex meant love, the desire to have sex with someone meant you were in love with them. So don't go by that. You're a spiritual being, you have a mind, you live in a body. Hey, I want to leave you with some words from Jesus to give you a pointer in the direction what real love is. And Jesus said, no, there is no greater love than this, than a man lay down his life for his friends. So use that as your basis to start considering and praying and seeking God concerning what real love is, whether you have it, whether you don't. Because liking someone, being a friend to someone, don't use that. Don't use a natural, don't use the lowest level of existence, physical, as a determining factor as to whether or not they're the one, we're going to be together, everything's going to be fine. Because there's a mental level, and there's a spiritual level which supersedes all of it. So, but that's another vid. I love you. Thanks for joining me. Blessed name, living Lord King Jesus Christ. Live, move, be. It's 9 minutes. Sorry, Tanya. Love you. Bye.